Here we are, the Wiersmerica podcast, sponsored by Newton Construction. I got my co-host here, Dave Newton. This is Dave Newton.
This is Dave Newton.
I'm Ryan Wiersma, and we are talking about the trades and the boys getting it done. Now, Dave, introduce what you do and how you do it, and I will introduce what I do.
Framer. We put put your buildings up, your homes.
Buildings and homes, and this is in Canada, so there's a lot of timbers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're doing some bigger projects now. You're building condos. I'm from the oil world, oil patch. I've come here to help you and learn how to frame, which is badass. And yeah. So, first thing we want to talk about is the amazing qualities of the trades, what it teaches you, where it gets you, and the amazing opportunities that lie ahead. Now, you've been in the trades for how long?
Better part of 20 years.
20 years. Yeah. And now, what has the trades got you? When you think of the trades, because it kind of gets a negative connotation with things. When you have the trades, where has it brought you in life and the amazing benefits it's done?
You learn how to work with people.
Yeah.
You learn that, I don't know if that's particularly a skill you learn in college. You learn young, the younger the better, you learn quicker.
Yeah.
You're around older guys straight away in the workforce.
And they don't really take shit, do they?
No, they don't.
No.
So you learn discipline very quickly. You learn how to show up on Monday morning and every morning, right? You're on call.
And they love to point out what you're doing wrong because you are doing it wrong.
Yeah. In my early years, it was a lot of your shit, and I didn't like that much. I don't think anyone really likes that much. So it's a little less like that now. It's more about building guys up and then breaking them.
There is benefit. There is benefit in breaking guys because once you're doing so much stupid shit, you really the best way to instill a rule or a lesson is to create a Mariana Trench, and that's usually with pain.
Yeah, it's.
But
read everyone's situation differently.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
They're not. Some are just straight up disrespectful shitheads, and you can give them all the time in the world, and they've just got to go.
Yeah.
They've just got to go, right? They're resentful. They're all that kind of stuff. But there's guys that have troubles at home that they just need some help. They just need a little bit of patience on your part, and it's fine. Usually you gotta let them know they can come to you.
Yeah.
If you got things going on at home, I don't particularly care what they are, but if you need to deal with them, let me know, and that's no problem. I get that.
Damn right.
There was none of that. It was just be here or the next. There's a lineup, right? There wasn't a lot of work.
Get out of here.
Where I grew up, that's why I ended up in Canada, was because there wasn't a lot of work. So when they called, you was like, okay, when do you need me? Like now? Okay, I'm on my way.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Next thing is now during the trades, blue collar workers, whether it's oil patch to framing to welding to truck driving, there is a lot of the baby boomers retiring, and not enough of the younger generation filling in labor force. So there is an absolutely amazing opportunity, especially if you're driven and you have attention to detail and you want to do a good job. So at the moment, I know in the oil patch, because I just left that, it's we can't find enough guys, and the people that are coming in are very young, very childish. I don't want to say all of them because there is some great guys, but
entitled too.
Yeah, they it's hard. It's a strange thing. They don't. Yeah, they are kind of disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's
I've literally nearly been in fights with my bosses before for being like that.
Yeah.
If I lay a hand on a guy now, even pull him out of danger, how much trouble is that going to get me?
Right.
You know, like it's
awful. It's awful. So I don't even know like how such a weak mentality came in here, but there is an amazing opportunity, and it's kind of weird how society's shifting towards more white collar, where I truly believe, like just with my experience and what I'm seeing, is all there's going to happen in the trades is you're going to be getting paid more, and if you're very skilled, you're going to be extremely desirable. Now, you're actually a great example. So you have a framing company here in Kelowna.
Yeah.
And clearly you've been doing good work, and now you're extremely desirable. Explain how that happened.
I went through a lot of employees.
Okay.
You're as good as them.
Right.
You know, like if you want to grow, it sometimes means you can't micromanage all the time. You can't see everything. So, you know, you run the risk of, you know, if I leave site for a full day, how much damage are your employees going to cause you, right? Like, how is their interaction with the homeowner or the client going to be? The mistakes they might make. Mine are minimal. They've never, you know, I've had employees that are no longer with me for reasons like this have, you know, we've had to part ways because leaving them alone on site
the disaster
proved ill.
Right.
In my part, but my current employees, they like I feel like if they, I don't need to be there. It's almost like I feel like I'm annoying them by being there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they're good. They're a good, well-oiled machine now, and you know, you got to come in and answer questions, and you know, there's things they're not comfortable solving, or they know how to, but you got to say yes or no to them. But and that's all you want. You
need your clearance.
Yes, because ultimately they still understand that if this works out, their decision works out
your
poorly,
balls on the line,
it's me. And you know, and if I lose clientele, eventually they lose their jobs too. And we have a good environment. Like I feel like they, not just myself, you know, I kind of paved the road for them, but they've created a good environment.
They're
so
badass.
I hire people. You need to convince them you need to stay. I'm not going to get to know you within the first few weeks. I'm going to be doing what I'm doing, and
right.
I'll slowly get to know you. You know who your family is. I'll get to know you a little bit about you and stuff. But I've got a couple of really good employees right now, and I was on the fence whether I was going to keep them around. And my lead guys are now, they would tell me like, no, you have to keep this guy. He's great. And it's like, oh, okay, well, if you guys give him the tick of approval, I'm going to put some time into getting to know this guy then. And then I found out it would have been one of the worst things I could have done, you know, but that's how it is. You need to be part of it. And if you're not, then you're not going to last very long, right?
So then, what do you see for the futures for the people that are thinking about going to the trades? What do you think? What do you think about that?
It's a bright future.
It's a bright future.
I still don't think, you know, like a lot of the general contractors, like the builders now, like my clientele, I don't think they've come to full term on the price raises yet. So there's a lot of resistance still on them. But I noticed my pricing going up and up, just little increments.
Right.
You know, after a year or two, it actually, where it was 2 years ago to where it is now is substantially more.
Where does that go? It goes to the boys.
Well, cost of living isn't getting cheaper.
No.
So as my prices go up,
they get paid more.
You know, like I remember my payroll 5 years ago. It's considerably different now. Like, and you know, everyone just wants to have the best life they can have, right? So.
And then creating that, and you've done actually an amazing job of doing that. So now I got a question. That's another question. When you think of a blue collar worker, I want you to give me the definition of your version of what is a blue collar worker to you.
A tradesman, typically, someone that works with their hands.
And the qualities. Give me the whole spectrum of Newton's idea of a blue collar worker, tradesman.
Someone that, you know, you get up, you do it for your family.
Yeah.
You know, there's no real other reason they do it. They do it for their family. They come in, they put in their honest day's work, and it's mostly done with your hands. Like, it's they've come. They typically, not all, because I do know some very smart, educated tradesmen, but they were people that didn't succeed in school.
It just wasn't their jam.
Yeah, like they either spent more time outside the classroom than in the classroom, or their grades weren't good. But the trades, the people that go to college, they further their education to become teachers, doctors, lawyers. Sometimes whatever, right? Sometimes they end up working in supermarkets with a huge college bill. You know what I mean? But
right.
Nothing wrong with working in a grocery store. It's an important
job.
Thing. It's a very important job as well. But, you know what I mean? Or they end up just getting a truck license and they end up driving a truck, which they probably could have done straight out of high school. You know what I mean? But that's kind of that's how I see a blue collar worker is. They keep everything moving.
Yeah.
Like your power, your heat, the houses being built, paint, like people that, if they weren't around, I don't think the human race would survive.
No.
It's jobs robots will never do.
It's an army of absolute, like, small legends, It's just this giant army that keeps this amazing infrastructure going. And, like, my idea of a blue-collar worker is just, it's like the ultimate problem solver. All you're dealing is with chaos. It's just absolute madness. You're working the oil patch, you're going through formations, machinery is breaking down all the time. And all it is just a bunch of problems that need to be solved.
Yeah.
The better person, the best tradesmen are people that just don't accept impossible. Like, no matter what, we're going to get the job done. And these guys usually are the leaders. They just, no matter what, are monsters. And the way they have this creative mind to just solve the problem. And that's probably from years of being with other amazing leaders that taught them all the things. And they have their almost habit. It's just like, if this breaks, we have these 4 things to go to. If those don't work, we go to these 4. And if those don't work, then we got to go rip this apart and get to that, right? Even with the formations, we'd have issues, and the field soup would come out and just be like, this is how we're going to do it, and then it works. Yeah. And it's just, boom, he just knows the answer.
I feel like the trades kind of even the playing field. And in today's world, I think it's an advantage to us, but I feel like the trades have even the playing field with the people that could further their education. A teacher comes out, makes $100,000 a year. Well, you can come work for me and make $100,000 a year, and you didn't do 4 years of school. It might take you 4 years of learning, and maybe you go do your trade certificate, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, you come out and you're going to make X amount of dollars. You can make your $100,000 a year.
Absolutely.
Doing that, right? But you've made income for 4 years with no debt attached to it. No educated, no debt attached to your education.
And that's one of the best things. Like, whether you're in a education, white collar or blue collared, doctor or framer, oil patch worker to lawyer, like, knowing where to put your money. So, like, no drugs, no liquor, no, like a vehicle's a vehicle. You can have a vehicle for 10 years and it lasts. If you find ways to put your money in intelligent places, within 10 years you can become, like, independently wealthy, and also, want really for nothing. Then you can almost, like, start to play,
Well, like, for a carpenter, he should be putting, you shouldn't spend $100,000 on a truck.
No.
Like, if you're spending $100,000 on a truck, you better have $250,000 in your bank account. You know what I mean? Like, that's even the kind of money you need to have. But even then, but if you got $250,000 in your bank account, why are you putting $100,000 into a truck? Why would you have $350,000? But what you should be doing is that money should be going into what other sources of revenue can your skills provide? Okay, you're a carpenter. You can build a house, flip a house. Here, that $100,000 will put a deposit on just about any house. You put $100,000 down. Now you have a house. You live in it. You renovate it. It's now worth $200,000 more than what you paid.
We're laughing.
Yeah,
I think that's one of those most important things is learning where to put that income.
But your skills make you more than just a wage.
And that's the greatest thing about the trades is you can really start to apply them in other projects, and this is like one of the reasons why I came to frame for you, is all I want to do is build. Like I built my house in Ecuador, and all I'm thinking is like, how do I learn how to read blueprints? How do I learn how to understand structural things? And I think framing is one of the best things. So you're really there watching this whole thing go up, and how important a quarter inch is on these projects.
Yeah.
And the accuracy. So I think when you start to know what you want to do, you should absolutely pursue that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it took me a long time before I knew that, though.
Yeah.
And how about you? When did you know like this trajectory you're going in? That's where you wanted to.
Well, when you forwarded the opportunity to have a company of your own, you always want to make your company the most successful it can be.
Right.
Sometimes you get to a place where you're happy and you're content with it, and you're like, well, why do I need to pursue more? But
you haven't hit that yet.
I haven't hit that. As I kind of level up, I've found that, I'll start building this kind of thing, and then I'll be happy. Yeah. Oh, then someone will say, hey, do you think you can build this? Don't know. Yeah, sure. Let's try. Let's go. And then you do well at it because you're working scared because you're scared of failure.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, you did this. Now, what about this big thing?
Go.
Now let's do lots of these. And it's like, okay, start hiring. Like, let's go. Like, this wasn't my plan, but sometimes it just happens unexpectedly. If you just sometimes just opportunity will come. Sometimes you got to go make your own opportunity.
Yeah.
And customer relation, it's very important. Very important. Even if you haven't worked for them for a year, I still call up old clients like, hey, how you doing? Just say hi. Yeah. Just say hi. And sometimes they're like, oh, I'm so busy. Could you give me a hand? Actually, I do know a guy in your town. I know you're 12 hours away, but I know someone lives there. Let me get you in contact with them.
Yeah.
What can I do? What do you need out of this day? Nothing. I'm just glad you're being serviced now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then they don't forget. And then now next thing you know, now you're talking to them weekly again, like these people are calling you, like, hey Dave, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, do you reckon you'd come back and do this? I got like several of whatever it is now. It's like,
now we're talking.
Okay, well, it's going to take a little bit more effort on my part. Like, I can put something together. Now I can make money.
Yeah.
Right? And that happens a lot. I don't share a lot of that information with people, but, like, I live in Kelowna, but I have people in Edmonton still calling me to...
Absolutely.
Service their needs there.
And that just shows, like, doing good work, you'll always be desirable. The higher quality that you do, just the more desirable you're going to get. So I see some people and they just do the bare bones, the bare minimum of things, and they get their paycheck and whatever. But if you really just became in the top 30%, you're just so desirable compared.
Well, I'll be the first to admit, am I the best framer in the world? Not close. Am I the best carpenter in the world? Not close.
No, but clearly
do I own my mistakes? Yes.
And do you know how to structure a successful crew?
Yes, and can I manage people better than some? Yes, I can. But you don't always have to be the best in your field. It's how you, for me, it's how did I deal with that? Right. How did I deal with the mistakes either I personally made or representatives of my company made? Like my employees, they might make mistakes. I never sat there and went, oh, point the finger, this is why it happened, something you did, she did, he did, whatever. I never did that. I was like, we made that mistake, we're going to fix it right now. Whatever the cost is to fix it, you let me know, I'll wear that.
Yeah.
My guys won't make that mistake again. Never not got a call back. Even after making mistakes that are just
it's finding
silly
the best,
mistakes, things that could have been
the best
avoided,
out of a shitty situation.
But it's like, hey, I'm sorry this happened. Let me compensate the time to repair this and get it done for you. And they're usually like, oh, no problem, thanks. And typically the one that helps the most is when you've received all payments for the job. You've already been paid out. You could just not answer that phone ever again, and you could dine and dash, right? But that when you're in a small community and cliquey, like,
and it's being honorable,
that'll get around in a hurry.
Yeah.
So and it's owning your stuff, right? Like what are your company values?
Damn right.
And that is one that we have, is we will own any mistakes that happen. Now, I don't want to say there's a lot because there isn't, but
when there is one.
When there is one, it just own it, no matter the cost.
So I just want before we end this, I want to hear. I'm gonna tell people my quick story. I want to hear your story. Give me a quick, 2-minute rundown of your story of where you started, how you got here, and then how you ended up here. Just a quick one.
Born and raised in Australia. 2009, flew into Canada.
Right.
Edmonton, Alberta.
That's where we met.
That's where we met. It's a very, very blue collar town.
Workers.
Calgary to the south is more where the paperwork gets done, but Edmonton's where the money comes through. Like that's where all the work's done. Was given the opportunity to start my own company. Did that for a number of years in Edmonton, and then me and my wife decided, we had an opportunity to move to Kelowna. We took it, looked for a more easy, laid-back lifestyle, and it's not. We got busier, we set out all these, I don't know, Murphy's Law, I guess, whatever, but we now we're building condos. I don't know, it happened fast. It happened fast. Like, it was just like, hey, can you do this townhouse? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Well, actually, I got like 12 of them. Well, hold on, I don't have enough employees. Well, let me see if I can get some help. and then I proved that I had this ability to bring people together and get the job done. And then it's like, and then someone sees your sign. Next, it's a random number calling you. Hey, I got a townhouse project just like the one you're doing now. It's like, boys, you want to keep doing this? Yeah, sure. Why not? So it's on to the next one, and then the next one, and then and then now we're doing condo.
You're doing big projects, man. It's crazy seeing you. When we're friends back in Edmonton and came out here, it's just like, holy crap. Like, these are big projects, man. And I think you're doing a bloody good job. With what's going on. Because, one project had a couple of issues, not your fault. Just
no. That was
incorrect. But still, it's like, we're still making it work, which is so amazing. Yeah,
and I'm hoping that resonates well with the client.
Yeah.
High stress situation for them and their client, and it's just everyone's already mad. You don't need to put fuel on the fire. You know what I mean? Like, just
absolutely not.
But I guess your turn.
Yeah, my story basically. Traveled most of my life, and I always wanted to live in a tropical place. So eventually, I bought land in Ecuador, and I did about 10 years in the oil patch, just saving up money. Buying properties, paying down debts until this year. I just finished building my dream house in Ecuador, and then I was with the Ecuadorian boys. We built this amazing little brick house on the hill in a cool surf town, and I just got this taste to build things. Like, I'm obsessed with it. Building and then making content. I saw you in bloody, what was it?
The Kamloops, was it?
Yeah, in Kamloops. I came out here just on a trip, and we're going to have some beers, and then I worked a couple days framing, and it's just like, man, like, this is a great place to learn how to build things. Yeah. And all I want to do is just understand how to do blueprints.
Yeah.
And you're like, just come out here for a couple months. Like, I got to go to Cambodia. I got a project there. And, man, it's so amazing to see the accuracy of how, like, we're, like, a quarter inch is, like, barely acceptable. And that's going up, and this is a quarter inch on a huge building. That was super cool. And then in the future, I'm just heading down to Ecuador, and I'll be building a couple more houses that I want to do. But I really want to understand the process of building. So I want to know how to read a blueprint, how to frame, like, the importance of that quarter inch. And I work with such a bunch of great guys. Super stoked to be here. And I think that's the best part about having this now. Is kind of like, what can I build once you learn these skills? And that's going to be a really exciting thing.
And that's kind of like the point of this podcast too, isn't it? Like, where we're going to show the process.
Absolutely.
So anyone that maybe isn't privy to it, to the trades, or anyone that's starting out, you'll see this errand bit of land, and then a hole, and then concrete, and then wood, and then
the process, man.
Bitumen roof, and then and then
you can understand, like, and it's so interesting because you have these little legions of men that'll come in and do their part, and it's like clockwork. We're bringing in the concrete guys. We're putting in the guys that frame what are the guys that frame the concrete? The
form workers.
Form workers.
Yeah.
Then you got the framers, and then you got the plumbers have to put everything. Electricians have to put everything in the walls. And those are two different legions, and then you got to put the drywallers and the tapers, two other different legions, right? So you just have this. interchanging of like little armies of guys coming in and out to build these things, and you get this amazing product, and all you do is just sit back in, flick on a light, turn on a stove, and it's there like that.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. We're gonna introduce a few more guys from other trades and get their perspective.
Absolutely.
It'll be a little bit of fun banter, I think, with each
couple
other.
of beers.
We'll have a couple beers and
Damn right.
get a little bit of truth serum out of a few of us here and introduce some of our crew.
And then tell some stories of the idiots that we have to deal with.
Yeah,
we
plenty
need
of
the idiot
stories. And we hope it's entertaining for anyone watching.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
But it'll be all a lot of it's about process on how things go together.
That's gonna be badass.
It's not going to be the same as how people do it in other parts of the world, but we'd like to hear about it.
Absolutely, because it's so cool when you hear how they do it. Let's say in England, or how they do it in America, or any other Australia,
even on one side of the Rocky Mountains to the other. You got the prairies of Alberta, you got Kelowna, British Columbia. It's like two different worlds of building. It's different altogether. But
even the 2x4s are different size.
Yeah, like just the standard heights of things are all different. So we hope to hear in the comments that how are things done where you came from. If there's anything we've talked about today that they'd like to comment on. Keep it clean, and
then we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. Our terminology, what we mean by this, what it means where you come from, and I think it could be fun. I think we'll have a lot of fun with this. And
damn right.
If you want to add to the banter, we're
if you want to come and join our podcast,
you want to come and join it. Yeah. We'll put a pin where we're at. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So this was the Wiersmerica podcast with sponsors of Newton Construction, my boy Davey Newton, Ryan Wiersma, and until next time, we will see you.